Today, we are diving into a really wild analysis that's been making the rounds online. It asked a pretty shocking question. Is Blake Lively's big lawsuit against her co-star more than just a legal fight? Could it actually be a career-ending move that's also tearing apart one of the most famous friendships in Hollywood? Okay, so let's just jump right in. The whole thing starts with a lawsuit filed by Blake Lively. But according to the commentators we're looking at, this thing has just spiraled. It's become way bigger than a simple disagreement, and it's reportedly putting her entire career and even her closest friendships on the chopping block. To really get this, you have to know the key players. Of course, you've got Blake Lively. She's the one who started all this. Then there's her husband, Ryan Reynolds, and their brands are, completely connected. Her very famous friend, Taylor Swift, has also been dragged into this mess. And finally, you've got her co-star, Justin Baldoni, who is the actual target of the lawsuit. Right. So to understand how all this fallout happened, we've got to start with the lawsuit itself. And this isn't just any legal fight. It's so intense that people are actually comparing it to one of the most explosive celebrity court cases we've seen in years. And yeah, here it is. This is that comparison. The analysis we're breaking down claims that people close to Lively, her own friends and consultants, are warning her that she is heading down a path to becoming Amber Heard 2.0. And that is a label nobody in Hollywood ever wants to have. So what is this lawsuit even about? Well, it's a case that Lively brought against her co-star Justin Baldoni's organization, Wayfarer. But the analysis suggests this has gone way beyond business. It's become this personal crusade, something she is doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on, even while her own team is reportedly telling her to just stop. So you hear all that, and you think she must have a pretty strong case, right? Well, let's see how it's actually going in court. Because the reports we're looking at, well, they paint a picture of one major loss after another. And this right here seems to be a huge turning point. I mean, it was a massive legal blow. A judge reportedly just threw out 10 of Lively's 13 claims against Baldoni. That's a huge part of her case, just gone. What's maybe even more damaging was the judge's supposed reasoning. This quote, "Much of what Lively complains about is not actionable," pretty much says it all. It suggests the whole case was built on a really shaky legal foundation from the get-go. And, it gets worse. The legal blunders apparently didn't stop there. Commentators are alleging that her team actually tried to present cropped evidence, like edited text messages. And it was a huge gamble that completely backfired. It reportedly just blew up in their faces when the full, unedited versions came out. Now, this is where the story gets really personal, because the fallout from this legal mess didn't just stay in the courtroom. It has reportedly spilled right into Lively's private life and damaged one of her most public friendships. I mean, just look at this supposed shift with Taylor Swift. It is wild. They went from being these inseparable public BFFs to a situation where Swift is now apparently breathing a sigh of relief that Lively is losing in court. It seems she just wants to be as far away from this as possible. So, what happened? Why the big fallout? The analysis points to a few key things. Apparently, Swift felt like she was dragged into this whole public mess against her will. She was reportedly furious that her private text messages were leaked as part of the court filings. And at the end of the day, she just doesn't want this drama hanging around, especially with her own major life events on the horizon. But look, this isn't just about one person's career or one friendship. The ripple effects are allegedly starting to hit one of Hollywood's biggest power couples. It's threatening that massive brand that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have spent years building together. So, what about Ryan? Is he getting caught in the crossfire? That's the big question. And honestly, the commentators we're looking at seem to be completely split on it. The damage to Lively seems clear, but what it means for her husband, that's still up for debate. Okay, so there are pretty much two camps on this. The first view is that, Reynolds' brand is taking a hit, especially that fun rom-com guy image he has. But the other view is that he's basically Teflon. He's a multi-billionaire with so many businesses, he can probably just stay quiet, wait for this whole storm to blow over, and be perfectly fine. But here's the thing. While everyone's debating about Ryan Reynolds, the analysis finds this really chilling consensus about Blake Lively. The general agreement is that while her husband might be totally safe, her own career prospects are looking incredibly, incredibly bleak. So all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most important question in this whole analysis. After everything that's happened, what does the future actually hold for Blake Lively in Hollywood? And wow, the analysis does not hold back on this. One commentator just puts it out there, plain and simple, I don't think she has a career going forward. The reason? They believe she's just burnt a lot of bridges with both the industry and the public. Okay, so is there any way for her to come back from this? The analysis suggests there might be one path, a truly sincere redemption arc. But then it immediately questions if that could even happen, suggesting that her own ego might be too deep in this fight to ever back down. And that really leaves us with the question at the very heart of this entire thing. Is this a principled stand for what she believes in, or has it turned into a career-ending obsession, a fight that has already cost her way more than any victory could ever be worth?